What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's all tea, all shade, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review. This is season 1, episode 10. Sorry I was gone last week. You know, I had some family issues, but I am back in full effect. My schedule right now, not for the whole month of January, because we have other shows that's about to start towards the end of this month. But for right now, my schedule will be Sundays, Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews, Monday, nostalgic tea story videos. And let me know if you guys want me to start doing nostalgic tea stories where I read you a chapter from an autobiography every week, because the response this week on the Pam Grier, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar excerpt from her autobiography got so much positive feedback, and somebody said in the comments section that it would be really dope if I read a chapter each week from a book. So let me know if there's something that you guys want me to start doing. Tuesdays will be like some type of haul video, fashion, TikTok made me buy it type of videos. Wednesday, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reviews. Thursdays will be my reviews on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. Friday, Behind the Scenes Tea, and Saturday, Spill the Tea. So that will be the schedule right now until other shows begin. All right, so as far as last week's episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, all I have to say is that Jen is absolutely batshit crazy, and that she is an embarrassment not only to herself but to her husband and her children. You can tell that this is not something new that they have to deal with when she goes on these drunken, angry outbursts, and that her sons have to calm her down and babysit her like they're the parent. It's a lot of darkness going on up in there in that house. So we all saw it come to a head on tonight's episode. But she really needs to get her drinking and her anger under control, because it is so embarrassing. Now I kind of see why Sharrieff wants to be gone all the time, because he doesn't want to deal with her and her antics. But like I said to y'all a few weeks ago, this relationship is pretty much a wrap to me. I don't see them lasting that much longer. I can see Sharrieff being the type of dude that got her to do this show so she can have her own income coming in, so he can wash his hands of her, kind of like what Kelsey Grammer did to his ex-wife on her first season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But anywho, so on tonight's episode, we started off with Jen is at home alone. Sharrieff has left her ass, which says a lot that he even gets up and leaves her. He don't even come home on that ass. Like, this is not anything new for them. So she's upset because the party was ruined, because Whitney brought up that Meredith and Lisa told Mary that they were afraid of her. She's embarrassed and said that she lost control. Sharrieff isn't talking to her. They show a flashback of the party when Sharrieff told their oldest son that she was drinking and doing dumb shit. And like I said, this is something that she must do all the time. And he and his sons are sick of her acting a goddamn plum fool every time she get in her feelings and have a damn drink. And it's more than you losing control. You just, it's something wrong with her. Like like she said on tonight's episode that she's angry because of everything that's been going on. But I feel like she also throws temper tantrums, and that is her way of getting folks' attention. Like, she's very attention seeking to me. So Whitney goes to see Heather at her job. Remember, they're cousins. She doesn't feel like she did anything wrong, and I have to disagree with that. I feel like her intentions were good. She was also trying to be a little bit messy as well, but I feel like she brought it up at the wrong time. At Sharrieff's party was not the time to bring that whole situation up, especially when drinks are involved, and you know Jen is fucking batshit crazy. She said she only wanted to be a good friend and tell Jen that they were talking behind her back. She feels like the other girls, including Heather, ruined what she was going to say. Well, girl, you couldn't even get your words out. You stuttering all over the place because for whatever reason, y'all bitches is scared of Jen and her orangutan looking face. She looked like arachnophobia. Like, I don't even understand why y'all afraid of this little lady. Like, she ain't number like 4'11". Like, y'all can thump on her forehead and she'll probably start crying. Like, I don't understand why y'all so afraid of her. Maybe because she looked like that character from the horror movie Jigsaw. I don't understand it. So, Whitney says, I wanted to avoid the blow up. And Heather says there was no way to avoid that. And I was like, exactly. I feel like wherever she would have told Jen would have still reacted the same way that she reacted. It really didn't matter where she did it, but it still wasn't appropriate for her to do it at Sharrieff's party. Heather also says, I wanted the blow up because you messy bitch. I told y'all she looked like Meatloaf for a reason. She say, but I didn't want it to be at you. I wanted the blow up to be her realizations that her best friends think you're volatile, so they keep kissing your ass because they're scared of you. They're lying to my face, lying to your face, and guess what? They got away with it. Jen is mad at everyone, and nobody's mad at Meredith and Lisa. That's a mean girls game. And I agree. I do believe that that Meredith and Lisa said that to Mary, because if you paid attention, nobody this episode, as far as Meredith and Lisa were concerned, neither one of them pressed the issue that they were upset with Mary, that she lied on them. They said that it wasn't true, but like they weren't upset about it. That's because y'all said that shit for real. They kept on pinpointing and pointing their finger at Whitney instead of focusing on the fact that Mary, quote unquote, lied on them. So they did get away with it. So Heather says, even when I go to her with negative information about them, Jen wants to discount it because she wants to be associated with Lisa and Meredith and the upper echelon of Utah City. And I agree. She does want to be associated with them because they're like the cool girls, quote unquote, which is so ridiculous because these are all 30-some, 40-plus-year-old women. Like, who wants to be a part of a clique when you that old? I just want to go home and lay down in the bed and watch reality shows. Like, ain't nobody got time to be sitting up here trying to be friends with bitches. So Whitney says, I want you to share with Jen what you shared with me. Because Heather do be feeling some type of way, but Heather be trying to be the middleman about shit. So Meredith realizes how much she loves Seth all of a sudden. I just don't see it. I feel like Meredith got wind that Jen was telling people that she was seeing somebody else and she was trying to cover her ass. I don't bit mo think that all of a sudden she want to be back with Seth ass. Seth looked like he dying of thirst. If somebody don't water that nigga, he just looks so wrinkly and dried up. All of a sudden now she just so affectionate. Like, the first half of this season, she couldn't even stand to look at this nigga. Now she just all over him. Girl, bye. I see right through it. I just can't wait to find out who the nigga is because we all know she fucking somebody else. So he asks her about Sharrieff's party. Then we cut to Lisa at home with her husband, John. And she's talking about the party and how Whitney was twerking in front of Sharrieff and how that was, declassé and all of these things. I think that it was okay for her to have a good time. Everybody was having fun or whatever. Was she doing a little bit too much? Yes. But Lisa just don't like Whitney, period. So she gonna find fault in anything that Whitney does. But I do feel like she was just in the moment and like thought she was in like a new Step Up movie or something. I was like, girl, if you don't get somewhere, sit your ass down. So then they cut to Jen at her house talking to her second assistant about the situation. I was like, Jen is really lonely. She is really sad that she ain't even got no friends to talk to. She got to talk to her employees about her life. And I know that lady was looking like, girl, I don't get paid enough to listen to this bullshit, but I won't pretend like I give a fuck. So Jen tells her second assistant that it wasn't the time or the place for her to bring that up. Then we cut back to Meredith saying that somebody's lying because she never said that, and so does Lisa. She's saying that somebody's lying, but like I said, nobody's mad at Mary because they know Mary's telling the truth. So Lisa says that Whitney threw her, Meredith, and Mary under the bus. Jen tells her second assistant that it caused major problems in her marriage and Sharrieff won't answer her calls. Sis, Sharrieff ain't answering your phone calls because Sharrieff is tired of you acting like a goddamn monkey and tired of you being a fucking angry ass drunk. It didn't have nothing to do with Whitney telling you that at the party. It was your response is the reason why Sharrieff ain't fucking with your ass, because he's a coach and now you going on national television with your foolery and fuckery embarrassing the shit out of him. It was one thing when you embarrassed him just around Utah. Now the whole world is seeing how much of a fucking loose cannon you are. So Meredith tells Seth that Whitney said Jen was talking about their marriage. And we know that what she was saying is true, but it's still fucked up. So Mary crazy ass is at home trying on belts and shit. She says she gonna buy her a whole apartment just for her clothes. And I was like, use all the church's money, girl. So Whitney calls her and tells her that she told Jen what she said and that she flipped out at Sharrieff's party. And Mary says, you don't do that. Like, even I wouldn't do that. That's what she said in her confessional. Whitney makes sure that she heard Mary right. She was like, did you say that? Like, I just want to make sure I ain't going back giving the wrong information. And Mary was like, I don't say anything that isn't true. And I believe Mary. I do believe that them white hoes said that shit. So Mary in her confessional say all of them are scared of her except me. I was like, it's because you're crazy as hell too. So she suggests that Whitney call Jen and talk things out. So Meredith and Seth go out with John and Lisa. These hoes show up dressed alike because you know they think they Tia and Tamara. Meredith tells them that they're back together and they're happy all of a sudden. And now that makes Lisa feel confident about her own relationship because if Meredith and Seth can't make it low, nobody can. And I was like, girl, I guess they supposed to be white couple goals. All right. So Meredith brings up Jen's party. Meredith focuses on Whitney saying that Jen was talking about her marriage, and Lisa brings up how she can't really vibe with the girls for real. And I'm like, I don't know who these people think they are. Like, I'm really getting tired of Meredith and Lisa. I'm tired of Meredith talking so goddamn slow. She talk like one of the Kardashians. She just be like, Seth, like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I just popped a Xanax and life is great. Yeah. Lisa, I'm so in love with you. Like, yeah, girl. Totally. I would love the tuna tartare. Love it. It's like, girl, and she act like she high all the time. You can't tell me she don't pop pills. So, Whitney and Heather head to meet Jen. They go to this spa, and when they arrive at this spa, that spa looked like some shit off Tales from the Crypt. I'm like, bitch, did you get this shit from Groupon? I know you like the brokest one out the clique, Heather, but like, girl, like it was like trailer park trash everywhere. I was like, where did she find this bullshit? Like everybody looked like they needed a tetanus shot. Like, no. So they show Whitney calling her Jen to apologize and invite her to the spa, and Jen was like, all right, girl, I'll come. So Jen arrives and she is not impressed, and I wouldn't have been too. It was like saws and shit all on the wall. I was like, where are they? It looked like Jason would jump out on their ass and try to kill them. So they go up to the hill to get in these tubs that look like they were tarnished on the inside, look like it was rusted, look like I was like, you gonna get COVID just putting your tip or your toe in it. Whitney tells Jen that she wanted to talk to her like a girlfriend, and it got derailed when the other ladies jumped in. And then Heather takes accountability and says that she was the one that was her fault, and Jen was like, no, it wasn't, it was Whitney's fault. So then Jen tells them that she wanted to have a good party for Sharrieff, but hasn't talked to Sharrieff because he's mad. And once again, she's trying to blame Whitney, telling her that on the reason why her husband ain't been coming home. So Whitney says, you know, I was surprised to learn that some of our friends aren't as honest with you, and I wanted to prove my loyalty to you. It's not my fault it went wrong. First of all, Whitney, how old are you that you trying to prove your loyalty to a bitch? Jen can't do shit for you. Jen ain't fucking you. Jen ain't paying your bills. Why do you have to prove your loyalty to somebody? You ain't in a sorority, girl. Grow the fuck up. Who the fuck is Jen? Jen's husband don't even want her. So why the fuck do you feel like you gotta prove your loyalty to this ass, to this girl? Her husband and her kids don't even want to be around her. Her assistants are her so-called friends. Like, girl, the fuck, bye. So Jen say, it kind of is. So Whitney says, I didn't throw the glass though. And Jen says, you guys pushed me to throw it. Here she go, acting like she the Incredible Hulk and shit. Veins is popping out her neck. And I'm like, girl, if you don't just go somewhere and climb up a tree. So Jen says, you did this at my husband's party. And Whitney says, I didn't blow it up. Jen says, yes, you did. I told you how much that day meant to me. And then they show the flashback of her telling Whitney about how excited she was for the party. Like I said, Whitney was wrong for bringing it up at the party. 100%. So Jen says, you had to do it there. And then Whitney, her confessional, say Jen has gotten used to in a way with making everything everyone else's fault. I don't know how much longer I can sit here and be a mirror for her. Yeah, because you a better bitch than me, because the way that she be yelling at y'all, like, it's crazy. Because I noticed that she yell at the white girls like they, you know, like she be sunning them. But she don't do all that Hulk Hogan shit with Mary ass, because Mary ass will gather her. So Jen says, take responsibility that you brought it to me. And Heather says, yeah, you smashed the glass. You did what you did. And Jen says, my fucking marriage is fucked up because of that night. Sharrieff hasn't been home since Saturday. And Heather says she didn't want that to happen. Jen says, Sharrieff is fucking embarrassed. I was like, who the fuck is Sharrieff? So Whitney rolled her eyes and Jen says, Whitney, roll your motherfucking eyes again and I will drown you, bitch. And I was like, they got that on camera, girl. You can't be making threats like that on camera. So Whitney says, Jen, I'm not rolling my eyes. So then Jen splashed the water all on the camera crew. And then you hear a producer say, why did you splash the camera? And then she says, that's what happens when you film me in a fucking bathtub. And then she get out the tub and storm the fuck off. And I'm just looking like, what in the fuck is wrong with this lady? So Heather tells Whitney, just apologize. Just please, just apologize. Do it. Please do it. You have to be a good friend right now. And Whitney looked like, bitch, this bitch is crazy. Why do I have to apologize to this crazy hoe? So Jen come back and I could have sworn Jen had a one of them vapes in her hand. And I was like, that bitch is nuts. So Whitney apologizes to her. And then Heather tells Jen that she's mad because she knows how Lisa has done her and that she feels like she wants to be more friends with Lisa and Meredith than her. And that she feels like at some point she's going to like ditch her to be friends with them. And Jen is looking at her like, really, bitch? This is about me right now. Like, how did this become about you? I don't give a fuck about this shit that you talking about. Like, it was all over her face. She was looking like, how's this hoe trying to steal my moment? So she says that, Heather says in her confessional that when she finally speaks up, people leave her, and that's what happened with her ex-husband. When she finally was telling him how she really felt, he left her, and she feels like Jen is going to do the same. Girl, fuck Jen. So, Jen in her confessional says, I'm accepting Whitney's apology, but I'm not completely over it. And then we see them make up or whatever, but once again, Jen is doing the same shit that she always do, acting like she's over something, but really is still internalizing it and gonna bring the shit up over and over again, and ain't nobody got time for that. So Lisa set up a tasting with the VIP guest list, and only Meredith was invited. And I was like, I wouldn't invite that bitch to shit else of mine. I didn't understand why she didn't invite Mary. I guess because Mary supposedly lied on them, but I felt like that was shady. So Sharrieff is back home, and Jen is scared to talk to him. They sit on the bed and she asks him why they haven't talked for 4 days. This nigga ain't been home in 4 days. Sharrieff got a side bitch, baby. So Sharrieff is fucking with somebody else up there in Utah. Sharrieff got him some side pussy. So he says that he was upset and it wasn't best he talked while he was mad. So Sharrieff says, when you drink, you can't control your emotions. You get angry. I don't know what was the cause of the fight, but I know alcohol wasn't going to help it. Boom. Like he even said it was your drinking. It had shit to do with nothing else that happened. This was you, girl. So Jen says, I drink because I'm trying to numb myself. And Sharrieff say, what are you trying to numb? And Jen says, because you're not here. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm still sad because dad passed away, but I'm supposed to just suck it up and get over it. I'm not strong enough, Sharrieff. I'm not strong enough to keep doing this. And Sharrieff says, so please help me then. What do you want me to do? And I'm like, nigga, she wants you to be there. Like, what the fuck? Like, does she got to map this shit out for your dumb ass? So Jen said, I try to support you coaching, but I need you to be here for me. I need you to be here more. I need you there. When I was in the hospital for that week, when dad passed away, that week I had to make all the decisions to take dad off the machine. You weren't even there. I'm so angry at you. I'm so upset because you couldn't even go to dad's funeral. And Sharrieff says, I never understood it like this. We could get better from here. And I'm like, how did you not understand that would hurt that girl, that her own husband wasn't there during the most detrimental time in her life? Like, what the fuck? That lets you know that Sharrieff ass is clocked out on her ass. Sharrieff got a whole other life. That's why Sharrieff ain't there no more. So he says that he went through a dark time himself when he could no longer play football and that he used alcohol and other things that he had no business using, aka a little coca. And he was like, did you judge me? And she was like, no. And he was like, well, I'm not going to judge you. And so Jen in her confessional says, I want to make a change, but it's hard for me. And aka, I'm going to still be the crazy bitch on the show. They say they love each other and that they're going to work their relationship out, child. Bye. And that was the end of the episode, child. Overall, I give tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City A B plus. It was good. I can't wait to see this Vegas trip and how everything is going to go down. I wonder, is Mary even invited? I know that Whitney is going to get tired of one of them hoes and threaten to punch one of them, and I can't wait for the foolishness. Jen is extra as fuck. She's getting on my nerves. Somebody needs to fling her ass. Heather is too goddamn insecure. I still fuck with Whitney, still fuck with Mary. The Bobbsey twins, I could do her. I'm like neither here nor there for their asses. But yeah, let me know down below in the comment section. Do you guys want me to start doing story time on nostalgic tea story nights where I read you a chapter each week from an autobiography? Let me know if that's the tea. Is that what you guys want me to do? Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. Love you. See you on the next video. Bye.